At this time, I'd like to ask everybody to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we're going to step out for a quick executive session on personnel for action that will be taken later tonight. We will step out.
That way you guys don't have to go sit in the cold.
You're so hungry.
We try.
You get a convenient moment.
Yeah. Everybody good?
I'm happy. We resume.
All right. So, public comment. Charlie, would you like to go now, or?
Well, I just need clarification, depending on what I have to say. On the section C, under committee reports, you talk about a code enforcement position. Is that just for a discussion, or is there going to be a vote on that? Because that would be. Can I ask that question?
I mean, yeah, it's public comment.
No, I'm saying, is it going to be a vote, or is it going to be a discussion, and you're just filling us in?
I don't know. See where it leads.
See what I.
Maybe you ought to give us your opinion now before.
Okay, let me do that. So, I would just encourage the current council to continue on the path of trying to get the ordinances underhand, in control, enforced. I think one could argue that they haven't been for a period of time. You guys recognize that, you took steps forward, and I would hope that you would continue to do that, whether it be the borough manager's responsibility like it has been for decades, or it hired a person, or you hire a contractor like over in Canton. I think it's important, and I think I'll just leave it at that so I don't keep talking.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you for your comment, Charlie. All right. Approval of minutes for. I guess, do we need to separate them, or are everybody okay with if we vote on them together?
I'll motion that we vote on both of them together.
Second.
All right. Any discussion?
I just want to make sure that the minutes reflect on the reorganization, the committees that were assigned, the changes that we made.
Yes.
Make sure that they're changed so that they reflect that. They're correct on today's minutes.
I'm sorry.
That's just the one that.
Yeah, actually, so he's got a good point. There's the 1 minute that it's not correct where Rod had it had John and I flip flop for who nominated who for vice president.
And I don't think you wanted to be chair of that one committee.
Well, that was
Correct.
decided
That's
in
all
the,
part of
and
it,
that
yeah.
is in the minutes,
Yeah.
but I
very good.
saw.
Okay, so just want to make sure that they're
I just want to make
reflected,
sure
okay.
that that's reflected.
And
thought it was all correct.
just so it is clear, for streets and sidewalks, Wayne Pratt is the chair and Bill Brasington is on the committee with him. And then John Davis is the chair of protections and persons and property. So there was a couple changes from the last meeting, just so everybody's aware.
Wayne and I switched. He was the chair of
Persons and property.
Right.
Yep, and now he's the chair of streets and sidewalks. Yep.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Bill. Any further discussion on the approval of minutes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Current vacancy on council discussion. Recommend follow-up action. We do have an opening right now. The individual that was previously on has decided that he is not able to. So we are open. We are looking for another member. If anybody knows anybody that would like to submit a letter to the council with their intent, we'd gladly review it.
Is that process? They submit a written letter to the borough manager to forward to us?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or if it's not you and you know somebody, drop the name to us, please. Thank you.
We can reach out to them and see if they would like to submit a letter. All right, letters of request. Half-Shire Harvest Festival request to utilize the Davidson Green on October 17th of this year from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. For vendor placement. In that same request, the Half-Shire Harvest Festival requests to have a parade on the 17th with a time to be determined in conjunction with Detroit Police Department and approvals by PennDOT. Route of travel is a left turn out of the Croman Elementary School on Canton Street to the intersection of 6 and 14, and then east on Elmira Street, Route 6 to Taylor Street, and then another left towards the high school parking lot for adjournment of participants. We'll start with that request. Does anybody have, do we have a motion to either approve or?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion on the Half-Shire Harvest requests? Okay, all in favor on those?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Letter of request for council. The AI data meeting is February 3rd. Every member should have received an email. I am going to attempt to make that. I think it'd be good to listen in, see what's going on in our community, what kind of impacts it may have, may not have, that kind of thing. So if anybody else would like to go, maybe with carpool, let me know. The 250th anniversary monument by DAR celebration event.
Yeah, DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, through Wellsboro, that's our American Legion, are putting monuments out for the boroughs. It's 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot. To put on in front of the Borough Hall. Okay. The request actually hasn't come in yet. I had a person stop to let me know it was coming. Oh. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that it will be coming so that you can think on it. Okay. And then when we actually get the request, we'll put it in for the council to vote. Okay. It's actually part of the statewide planning event.
There is a countywide committee that's organizing for that also, which this will
good deal.
Go nicely.
Committee reports. Finance committee, approval of bills, any bills of notable discussions.
I included 2 sets of ways to look at the ledger. The normal way is what the accountants give you. And then what we did is we took screenshots of the ledger as we see it and as we put it into the accountant, so you can actually see where the money's coming in and where it's going out.
Oh, I see that.
Who's getting paid. And I also included some of the big bills in there that we have not acted upon yet. The one has been approved by council. I just wanted to see what the cost is going to be. That's for the generator hookup. And then the other one, they're both by Mount Lake. The other one is the ground faults for the treescapes are pretty much shot. We got to put new ones in. That's why the lights kept going out. And the way they were in, some have been hit by parked cars, and some have been damaged. So we got an estimate on that. And might be able to get funding for that one.
Okay. And they'll move them like they're not, that's how to be where a car would hit. They'll kind of move around the area.
Okay.
And they will be locked.
Proactive, very good.
Yeah, they're all locked boxes.
They're going to be lock boxes.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie won't be able to play with them.
I can't plug in my electric car for free? I mean, on the schools, on the town's dime? Oh, well.
I'll give you a key.
I need a motion to approve the bills.
I'll motion to approve the bills.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion on the bills? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? General Government Committee. Tim, would you like to?
Yes, on the 14th, Wayne, Rod, myself met with our planning commission. A number of items were discussed. Some involved general blight. That's come up to this meeting before. Charlie has mentioned it. Others have mentioned it. Another concern they had was also the interior of renovations. The great concern they have is people are doing things to their buildings without any kind of approval or zoning process. It was proposed, I hope it will be approved by this body, all matters concerning the public appearance of the building should be sent to the Streets and Sidewalks Committee. The Planning Commission believes it's just fine to have uniform ordinances for residential and commercial both. And we understand we can prioritize one over the other when it comes to enforcement. The second issue was, as mentioned, the stuff inside the building. A house may be converted to an apartment. One day they wake up and see 3 or 4 electric meters outside a porch, with no planning or zoning or approvals on the inside renovations. Since we don't have a specific body dedicated to that, it appears to me that would go into the General Government Committee. It was decided and agreed that their priority will first be working with the Streets and Sidewalks to make sure that exterior, what's visible on the streets, can get taken care of first. That seems to be the most, 99% of our problems as far as urban blight goes. Concurrently, though, I am working with them. I've reached out to Jamie Weiss today, for example, and scheduling a meeting for next week so we can go through what concerns they have. And I hope the town will also speak with me on the concerns they have regarding the interior of many of these renovations. Our solicitor has also reached out to me. There's template legislation he can provide. I believe between the Planning Commission and any comments from the current landlords in the town and the Planning Commission, we can get everything squared away. There was also a complaint, that's a long-standing complaint, a perennial complaint. The zoning ordinances are rather antiquated, but reforming them would be a multi-year process. That's not something that we would be able to do overnight. First, we would have to get a handle on what are the zones that we currently have. Whether they're right or wrong, at least understand what they are. There are services available for helping someone rezone. None of them are free, of course, but it's premature to engage them now, not until we know what we need to be done. That was the extent of our meeting. So I propose, Mr. President, that I continue as the General Governments Committee to work with Jamie and the others on looking forward to the interior and permitting process for rental properties, and the Streets and Sidewalks Committee take up the responsibility of looking at the legislation for the public urban blight.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I need to interject. One of the things that was brought up is we do not have a zone hearing board. We have 3 vacancies, and according to the ordinances, if anybody has a appeal or anything about an ordinance, it goes to the zone hearing board. And currently, I think the previous borough manager was acting as a zone hearing board. But we should have 3 people, because we do have events coming up that are actually maybe in violation of our current ordinances that the zone hearing board should review prior to those events.
This is 3 members of the public, correct?
3 members of the
3
public.
members of the borough.
It's not from the council,
Yeah.
it's 3 members from the borough.
Are council members excluded?
Yes.
Okay.
We approve the board, but we cannot serve on the board.
Okay, and if 6 people step forward for 3 positions.
We interview.
We interview and we appoint.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they're appointed by the borough council.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
My suggestion is that we put an ad in the paper.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think the public realizes.
No, and in fact, I don't even think it falls just back on our ordinances, right? I think if you looked in Title 8, it's in there, it's required as well.
Yeah.
If I may, I know, and this might not be the time and place, but I have to say this, I said this over the years several times. The mindset is put it in the paper, put it in the paper, put it in the paper. Obviously, we have a 25,000 watt radio station.
So let's simplify this, Mike. Anytime that I decide to say something and let's put it in the paper, just automatically assume I'm directing it.
Let me finish. I've been trying for 27 years to get council swaying that there's other elements of letting the public know. First of all, if you even think about comparing cost, you're not going to put anything in the paper for free.
No.
Broadcasting from the FCC says it is a public service announcement. We cannot charge for a public service announcement, and we can get the coverage. Secondly, newspaper circulation and subscriptions and readership is down probably 80% or more. Again, to reiterate, I am not speaking as I'm not speaking as the mayor. I'm speaking as a person who knows the business of communication. And this would be a perfect advertising, or not even going to be an ad, it would be a public service announcement to let her know that our community needs you. And I would make sure and see to it that I would certainly help my position and make sure the community is well aware of the situation.
I think that's great, and I think that the radio station can hit different times of the day where different audiences.
We're on 24 hours, 7 days a week.
So you can hit the morning crowd, the afternoon crowd, and really get the word out better.
I've tried several times, and it just never. So for some reason, no offense for those in the media here or in print, but common knowledge of it is you can't read a newspaper by driving your car, or while driving your car, but you can certainly get the information.
I've seen them try.
And I also like the newspapers because it's hard copy, and people can cut it out.
It's in the Sunshine Act, we have to use the local newspaper.
Yeah, well, that's, I just want to speak up, the newspapers have a longevity to them that I think is
Mr. President, I have a motion. I move our borough manager draft an appropriate advertisement for placement in the local paper, for broadcast at our local station, and for posting onto the Facebook Troy Borough Open Discussion Forum. And our website. Thank you. Accept that amendment.
And we've been, and to go along with
no comments allowed.
The Wiggle owner says, we've used the Wiggle in the past. And we've already made arrangements to continue to use Wiggle for PSAs on the lead abatement. So it should, we should be able to do a good relationship. He's done being on Carnival cruises.
Well, I can't guarantee that, but I can tell you as a postscript, there's
one thing too that was brought up, maybe and open discussion is not controlled by us, it's by somebody else. We may have to look into, I hate to say this because I'm not a Facebook fan, but hosting our own Facebook page.
That is
so that we can get the message out as well.
An official page. So I
just wanted to have it a postscript, if I may, Mr. President. There's actually 3 radio stations in this town. There's Wiggle, there's the Oldies on the AM. And
Are you friends with all 3 of them?
I know the person very well.
Oh,
great guy.
He shaves with you, I hear.
What's the third one, Mr. Powers?
It's the AM station. I have 2 FMs and an AM.
1310.
1310, 99 FM, and 100.3.
Just to make sure we're keeping everything straight, you have a motion on for the advertising of the announcement.
Yes.
Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Any further discussion?
That was all 4, correct? Just to be clear, the paper, Wiggle,
Facebook,
Troy,
and
website.
Social media.
Yes. So that's all 4 of those. So I have a first, I have a second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And then back to your first motion, which was, keeping the general government working with,
Permitting process.
Thank you.
And streets and sidewalks on exteriors.
Yes, because we kind of got sidetracked. So I had it first. I do believe I had a second. Any further discussion on that? Because we started.
I'm going to have further discussion on that because I feel as though the streets and sidewalks, I don't feel as though they should be responsible. I think that's where, as Charlie brought up earlier, we're going to have, or we're still strongly looking at having an ordinance officer, which would actually be, that would be kind of double duty. You're asking the Streets and Sidewalks Committee to do the same thing the ordinance officer is.
But no, we're asking the Streets and Sidewalks Committee to come up with legislation that the ordinance officer will enforce. Once you've decided grass shall be cut no taller than 4 inches, it's up to the ordinance officer to enforce that.
So I think that we need to start with delineating what we mean by codes and ordinances, because you're gonna get into some gray area. So when we talk about inside a building,
Sure.
that's we already have a contracted agency to handle that enforcement. Code inspections down at Beach Shore, that's under the UCC law. We've already adopted that in our ordinances. What we would need was basically the typical of what everybody thinks of code enforcement, the property maintenance and that stuff. The easy button to hit that language is the International Property Maintenance Code. And then that takes care of, and we can pick and choose anything out of that book that's that thick that we want to look at. But so I don't think that's a big thing. We just need to, when we talk about an ordinance officer, the person that's going to be in that position is probably not going to be certified and qualified to go in and enforce UCC laws.
Right.
So I just want to make sure there's a very clear delineation there,
Right.
what we're looking for. That's all.
You had mentioned that our solicitor had a framework that he was going to present to you guys to work off of anyways.
That's right. Our solicitor has a number of sample and template legislation that we can pick and choose from, in addition to speaking with the public and our planning commission. So I don't expect this to be a terribly complicated process. It's just determining what do our neighbors want.
We already have, in our ordinances, we already have guidelines, what we're trying to do. And I know when we had a meeting with the planning committee and we're currently working on it, and you're continuing to work on it, is prioritizing what we want to concentrate on.
Yeah.
What's as far as safety goes to our people, we have to prioritize that, and that's going to take some time, but that's really what we're trying to do. I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel here. We already have it in our ordinance.
Absolutely not. We have a number of ordinances on what the beautification should be, as far as like sidewalks shoveled, grass mowed, that sort of thing. We may have to enhance that with, well, your front porch can't be all lean-to and sideways.
That is correct.
Which again is found
maybe
in the
not.
IPMC.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
There's template legislation we can pick and choose from.
I'd like the whatever respective committee to look at it first, because it's very.
Yeah.
If you're going to pick and choose from it, everything's already built.
It's already built. I mean,
Some of it might be overbuilt for all.
yeah, because there's parts of it that deal with the fire protection. We don't, I don't expect somebody to us to get somebody that's NFPA certified to go in and to do that.
Right.
And that's where we could really get into the weeds. I've heard discussion about a rental ordinance and a rental inspection program. They have their purpose.
Yep.
But we need to find out and define what it's going to be. It doesn't need to be a 30-page document for every inspection. The one that we used where I worked and did it was a simple checklist that we got. Actually, we got it from Erie Insurance, I think, and we just followed their.
But another matter on that is as far as exterior goes, the appearance of it. We may not want to wade into industrial or agricultural properties just yet. We may want to focus just on residential and commercial properties. Because, well, we don't have a tremendous amount of industrial or agricultural, but they may need addressing. But by focusing on what we know we need, we can get something done much quicker, especially if we've got this code and our solicitor has template legislation available. It ought to be, less than half a year, I'm sure, just a few months, and bam, we could have something approved by our solicitor and voted on at this council. And I'm thinking a similar timeline as far as what would be the interior inspections for safety and code enforcement goes. Then ultimately, violations would have to fall to our borough manager or a code enforcement officer if we hire one. I think hiring a code enforcement officer either as an individual or a service is a great idea. I think you mentioned in Mansfield, they hired a separate service because they hired an individual and they ended up playing favorites. So we can have these things. With the exterior regulations combined with the interior regulations, we can have a permitting process for when somebody says, well, I'd like to turn this old Victorian into an 8-bedroom apartment. We can have that done safely and beautifully.
That would fall under zoning anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a few places, though, as indicated earlier, that may not be in the proper zone. Somebody just kind of snuck it in a midnight.
The ordinance only allows 3 apartments per residential house.
Yeah.
And that's
It's in the ordinance, yes.
that's discussion for down the road and not tonight.
Exactly. That's a
It
later
is.
thing. But I think if we're happy with what these committee assignments would be, then we can move on. Because that tells us our groundwork and what our goal is. And if we're working with the planning commission and working with the general public, we can't go wrong.
Okay, I have a first, I have a second. We've discussed. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Personnel committee.
Okay. So we met January 12th in regards to borough manager position. We reviewed some applications and an offer was made to continue the service of Rod Manning. We have not seen, has Jonathan got the contract back yet?
Got it with me.
Okay, he's got it with him. I believe you guys have seen the email with what his requests were. I don't see anything outlandish with that. The only discrepancy is the term of service where, he keeps saying 2 years, I say 10, let him retire in 6.
Statute says not more than 2, though.
I'm sure we can sweet talk Teresa into, but he's done a really good job. There was some I don't want to say issues, but the applicants that we had just didn't feel, based on the committee's review of them, didn't feel that they were the best choice, and Rod offered and we accepted. Second was the part-time police officer's position. So first out of the bat, Officer Weisel has agreed to give us scheduled hours every week, taking himself from his status of per diem to scheduled part-time. We had 2 additional applicants. We interviewed one. The second just did not meet the required needs. The other applicant that we interviewed comes with a whole lot of experience. I think he's going to be a great addition to our department, and I recommend that we hire Officer Christopher Popolo as patrolman in Troy Borough.
Part-time?
Part-time.
Part-time. For now.
He's willing to vary his schedule. He's more than willing and quite interested in reviewing some of the policies and procedures and updating if necessary, working with a solicitor to update those. He has a fair amount of experience in that area already. The code enforcement position, we didn't have any. It was kind of a discussion on where we wanted to move with that. And I guess that's better left for John under his Protection of Persons and Property Committee Chair to discuss further. That's all we have for the Personnel Committee.
So you made a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we hire Christopher Popolo.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
What about a motion for Rod Manning?
Motion that we hire Rod Manning and retain him per his contract guidelines as the borough manager, moving him from interim to permanent.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think we need a proposal for that. I think that's all going to be administrative. So he's already on the books. So
John.
Right. But we have
Kyle.
sign.
I don't think that's what we're just talking. I don't think we need a proposal for that. That should be administrative because he's already hired an employee.
Well,
He's
yeah.
just changing his status.
Yeah, we're just
You're
changing
just
status from per
improving his
diem
hours.
to...
Yeah, he's just giving us scheduled hours instead of per diem time.
Going from per diem back to.
That's administrative purely.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right, so now code enforcement's going to fall under the protection of persons and property. Okay.
Actually, if you want to bring that up now with a resolution,
All
then
right.
just vote for it.
All right. So for the code enforcement position, we have discussed it many times. We never officially voted on a resolution to create the standalone position. I do have a template in front of me of be it resolved by the Borough Council in Troy Borough, Bradford County, Pennsylvania, that the Troy Borough Manager is hereby to amend the code to create a code enforcement officer position. An advertisement for said position will be put forth to the public for hire. Said position will work in accordance under the Borough Manager's direction as far as job description, rate of pay, and time. Part of the duties will include local Troy Borough ordinance enforcement as well as recommendations for updated ordinance changes. So I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept it as written.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I want to state my piece on this. I want to be clear to the public that there's been misconception in the past on this. The intent of this position is not to hire someone to be an HOA Nazi per se. This is to deal with quote unquote nuisance ordinances that actually do have background in safety to the public. And that's the focus on the discussion on creating this position is about. Not to pick on people for their paint chipping on their house, etc. Things like that. That's not our goal with this. That's not our intention, and I don't have any intent to allow that as much as I have a say. But there are serious things. We've seen an uptick in Chief Weibert having to enforce sidewalk ordinances. Tripping and falling due to ice and slipping is one of the leading causes of injury and death in the United States. It is a safety thing. Think of your children walking those sidewalks to school. All it's going to take is one of them going out into the street, slipping and falling, getting run over by a car, or slipping and falling, cracking their head on the sidewalk. It's things like that. We can get into the grass height thing. There's background on why that becomes an issue. Again, that's all, there's discussion down the line to have with that individual. Some of the conditions of property, absolutely, it's a safety issue. So that is the things that my intent with this position is to focus on. I want to be clear to the public that that's the intent of creating this position. I'm done.
I'm not in a position where I feel I can support this because I think for many years we've had a lack of support for law enforcement in this town. And adding additional paid positions when we do not bring the police force up to the levels it used to be in the past, I think is not the priority I want to support. I'm not going to argue with anybody over it. It's just my feeling I have with speaking with the residents in the town and their concern about our safety.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Just the one no?
Yep, I do believe yes.
I don't know, Tim, you didn't say anything.
I abstained.
Oh, you abstained? Okay.
Would you vote, Wayne?
No, I was for it.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. I was
Okay.
looking at Tim.
Streets and Sidewalks Committee.
Yep. We didn't, Mr. Bill and I didn't get together yet here in January. We will in February. We did have one pending item that came up. As you all know, Red Line Rehab has opened up in town, and he had made a request about possibly having a handicap parking space out in the front of his business. I happened to have to go in there, unfortunately, but we had a discussion, and then we followed that up with another discussion. He has since decided that with the number of parking spots that he has with his property, that it would be just as convenient for his people if he just put a handicap parking spot right there by his back door or one of the side spots that he has there, and he really doesn't need to take up a borough parking spot. So he has rescinded his request at this time for wanting a handicap parking spot out front by the curb. So.
Can I say something on that?
Absolutely.
I almost think it'd be beneficial to the borough to have a handicap parking spot right in that area because you have people coming in and out of Benny's. You have people coming in and out of the attorney's office, the dentist office. So sometimes I've seen where the handicapped people had to park, clear it by the church and try to get down to those areas. So there is really no handicap parking spots. I mean, even in front of Building 9 in that area too, there's no place for a handicapped vehicle to park.
I can think of one spot that would be absolutely perfect.
In the borough.
If I can actually, at our next meeting, present a map, there's two spots that would be absolutely perfect. I would like to talk with Wayne to see if he thinks this may be a good idea.
I think we should be looking at the street parking downtown as a whole, rather than one business asking for one place, because it opens the door for all over the place, but also it doesn't take into account, as the chief is saying,
Yeah.
the
Well, the
movement
one-
of people and
right.
everything. So I think at a higher level,
The one out in front of Red Line would have actually
yeah, covered a lot.
a lot of businesses right there,
I
but
can
Right.
think of two accessible
There
spots.
is
And
one in front of Sarah.
Oh, yes, and sure,
Yes,
there's
yeah,
Throw
yeah.
that out there.
Okay, sure, we've also got municipal parking right here, but I can think of two spots downtown. One on Canton Street, one in Elmira Street, or I guess East Main. That might work out perfect because they are so wonderfully accessible if you have to get a van or a large automobile in.
Right.
If I can put these down on a map and bring them to you, maybe we
Sounds
can
like a
discuss
plan.
this next meeting.
sounds good. Why don't we, when we have our meeting, we'll invite you to that meeting.
Okay.
Streets and sidewalks.
Yes, and that'll be
Committee.
posted, and then that way we have an opportunity.
I'll probably
to
just
do that.
screenshot something on Google and email it to you. But
Sounds
sure,
perfect.
invitation is good.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sounds
Although that
perfect.
doesn't get advertised as personnel.
Okay, so that'll get discussed at the Streets and Sidewalks Committee meeting that will be determined, and,
That will be posted, so
Yep.
everyone will know when it is.
yep, Technology Committee. Tim?
I received communication from a borough manager regarding a proposal to update our website from D3. I move we accept the proposal and grant to our borough manager and his staff power to work with D3 on getting the look and feel and redesign of our website correct. And also we include the proposed email services hosting from them. When D3 hosts our email services for the borough, that gives us better accounting and auditing and record keeping on those emails. There's never going to be a problem with FOIA or sunshine law, for example, on getting a hold of these things. And we could maintain an archive as detailed as we want for indefinitely. I suggest, or not, we allocate not more than $1,600 towards the achievement of that goal. Their proposal was $1,400. You know, sometimes these things always cost an extra $50.
Okay. Is that your motion?
That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
So it's at 1,400, correct?
Their proposal was $1,400. I'm moving we allocate not more than $1,600.
Gotcha. Okay, I heard that number wrong. Thank you.
It's all right.
Thank you.
And D3 has done other boroughs in the area. We've checked them out. It's,
They suggested look at Athens.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty good.
Wanna
And
see what ours will be
easily
similar to.
movable. Somebody was complaining about ours, so.
Oh, well.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You heard that time?
I did. Did you hear me?
I have a second one. As technology, I move this borough acquire an official Twitter and Facebook handle for borough business. I move that our borough manager or his staff take charge of that. I guess it's X now, not Twitter, but it's so much easier for me to say Twitter. I understand he's not the greatest fan of Facebook or X. I would then.
Facebook, I just don't have X.
I would ask if he reaches out to D3 for a proposal on developing our social media presence. That is my motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I guess I'm curious. I'm not real up to date on a lot of this technology, which is why I'm not on that committee, but I am familiar with Facebook. I am familiar with X a little bit. Are we going to be able to contribute or basically control the viewing population?
Well, that would be our official communication channel, but under current jurisprudence, we can't block any of the public from our communications.
So I'm just.
Can I interject? Are you asking if we can control the bombing that occurs by the public upon us?
Correct.
We don't have to answer. We can let them
But-
bomb.
They'll
But-
shut
but
off
you-
comments on
But
it.
you can, there is a potential for throttling
Yes.
comments.
Because I know this,
Yep.
school district, they shut off all commenting
Yeah.
on their Facebook
You can do the
page.
same thing with X. Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with
Yes.
Facebook. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yep, under current jurisprudence,
Well-
that is allowed.
So, since I know stuff about this stuff, what you will want to do is make sure commenting is turned off completely on everything.
Don't pick and choose.
You can't-
Yeah.
No,
you
we may
legally
never
cannot.
pick and choose.
Right,
So
right,
it's better to just have it completely turned off and not
Yep.
let anybody comment.
right.
I would also say I would avoid X because they change how they handle their platform so much. It could cause you issues with people have to sign up in order to see the content sometimes with them. I think that's how it's currently set up, that sometimes users have to create an account to see the content. That's useless for a government agency. Facebook is always public.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to start maintaining things on a platform that's going to make things locked down that the public can't see it, because you're just adding more work to him. You're going to get more complaints about people not being able to see the content. It's better to have it on one or two platforms that will usually always be public.
Thank you,
You
Walt.
won't be getting complaints.
Well, I'll
Really,
amend my
all-
motion.
All you need is Facebook, really, and just shut the, when I post a comment or something, subject matter about the borough, I shut comments off.
I know, because there's
I don't
quite a
want-
few I've wanted to
I don't
reply.
want, I don't want the bullshit that you
And I
have
don't
on
wanna-
the other open discussion.
Well, then I amend the motion, only an official
Facebook.
Facebook account. I recommend the borough manager consult with D3 on managing our multimedia or establishing our multimedia presence.
And I will second that amendment.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President, I'm done.
All right, thank you, Tim. Water Sewer Department Committee. Chair vacancy, implementation of new water rates went into effect on January 20th. Rod, do you have anything else you want to add to water sewer?
Yes, Kim's done a great job with the company, getting our bills around. We are in 100% that they finally came out right through the company.
Yay!
So we should be having any issues.
I'll start paying my bill.
Company has
So now if I don't pay it, they don't.
already been notified about updating the software for the rate increase. I had to give them the minutes and the resolution so they could do that. So we're doing good there. The other aspect that the water and sewer has to continue on, we were talking about the heavy water usage, because the ordinance does have a cost for anything over 10,000 gallons for a quarter. I think the committee needs to review that to ascertain if 10,000 is where they want it or raise it, and check the cost so that we can go back to the software company and have them work that up. So that's going to be probably another nightmare for them.
Was that quarter or monthly?
That was quarterly, the 10,000. The 10,000 was quarterly, which is awful low because we've got two and we've got residences with 2 and 3 people that can easily do 3,000 to 3,500. So that would throw them into that. So that's why my suggestion to the council is that the sewer water committee take a review of that.
Okay.
And then we can go accordingly. But everything else is good. Nick's got numbers on water.
Water's on 400 to 150,000 a day.
That's what you're pumping? What are you billing?
No, that's not what we're done. That's what we're doing now.
We did, to go with what Charlie's about to ask, is we found that we had PA rural water up, and we have identified 2 leaks. And as soon as the weather breaks, we're going to fix the one's a minor leak, but the other one has been an issue for some time, I gather, that has not been fixed. That is on our radar that Nick and I have already talked about it. As soon as the weather breaks, it's in a tricky spot, but it needs to be fixed.
Thank you, Rod.
Do you want to talk about what we're billing? Or what the consumption?
Our year was at 3 months, right? This is a 3 months.
Just January.
That's well, that goes along with what he just said for consumption. We have 600 households. Of them, here's what I found interesting. We have 4 that are considered industrial.
No kidding.
Yeah, we got 4 that's industrial, and then 17 institutional. The big issue is the zoning. Going back to the zoning on that, as far as what the residence A, residence B can do, what commercial can do, what industrial can do, things like that. So we have to work with the planning committee and the zoning hearing board, and then we control the zones. We just send it down to Towanda for them to review it and see if there's any issues with it. So that comes from the council.
Is there a way we can get historical data on what the supply system, how many residents, et cetera, how many buildings it was designed to supply?
We can get that from the engineer.
Okay. I think
Number of
that's...
EDUs. Yeah, the number of EDUs we have, we get that from the EDU. Like the park has 16 EDUs they pay per month.
Okay.
But that goes to, that's just for the sewer.
So what I'm saying is the original design capacity of the supply system, we should be able to find to see if we're exceeding that by...
Our engineers,
Okay.
LG have that information, and they're the ones that we're trying to get for the feasibility study for what we need to do for upgrades and stuff for both water and sewer, pending the LSA grant. So we're working on it. It's just, unless we got extra cash, the feasibility study is $200,000.
Okay. Thank you, Rod. Mr. Mayor?
Very well. First of all, I think everybody in the room knows my priority and main objective as mayor is the police department. And I want to tell you that it is so encouraging for me to sit here in front of the council and let my feelings be known, how pleased I am. I mean, I'm excited about it. There's so many good things that are pointing to the council, the members of council represent, the protection of the property and people, and just the mindset is just so refreshing. I'm so pleased with it. And I want to say that we've talked about a squad car or a patrol car, whatever you want to nomenclate it, is for years. And it's always been on the back burner. Well, I guess we should know that the chief informed me that this, what is it, a Ford Explorer, I believe it's, came out of, I think, Chicago, whatever it was, but it's here. It's up in our Borough shed, and it's being renovated, and it'll be put into service here very shortly. And we're looking at grants to purchase a new vehicle. I mean, these are, like the old saying goes, aspirations and dreams that I've had for this PD for many years. We now have a position, an ended position, where I can actually say, everybody, I think, just about everybody in this room knows who Kyle Wyethla is. He was our former chief, and we had at one time 17 employees on our police employment, part-time, full-time. And to have him come to the fruition that he's going to rejoin us again, he's an excellent officer, and I am so proud to hear that. So things are great. I constantly meet with our chief. We meet at least twice a week, if not more, and we're always a phone call away. We're constant communication, and that's such a relief, not only to me but to him, and to knowing that we have the backing. It's like a snowball going down a hill, if you understand my analogy here, and I can just see it growing and growing, and I'm so pleased with it. I'm very proud of the chief, what he's doing, and the council, the acquisitions that we have coming up in the near future. So in the police report itself, I'll quickly just explain this last month, what took place in the borough. We had a few disturbances. We had a couple of civil fights, disputes, so on and so forth. A couple of rounds that the chief has discovered, the typical neighborhood open door windows kind of scenarios and stuff. And of course, as always, because until we get to the fact that we will always rely on the Pennsylvania State Police. They are a tremendous asset to our community. I know sometimes on a Saturday or a Sunday job, we talked about this too as well. You'll see cruisers going through this town, constantly. So their presence has certainly been increasing over the last several weeks, and it's amazing, and it's just terrific. And I'll just briefly touch on them. They are reporting as well. I never knew what I don't know if anybody in this room has, but I know I never knew what the PSP was doing in our borough for months and months and months. Now we get a monthly report from the Pennsylvania State Police out of either Mansfield or Towanda, whatever the case might be. And just to let you know what they're doing, they're not just carousing and parking like at Amy Chevrolet and watching traffic or something like this. They're doing their job immensely. They had a DUI arrest on the Canton Street area. They had a simple assault in the Elmira Street area. And of course, the civil crimes that we have, they continuously are in contact with our chief. And bottom line, as mayor, it's there's an old saying, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the mayor right now, and I just pray to God it just continues on this path that we're running on. Secondly, and really most importantly, I highly commend our borough workers during this past snowstorm that we had. These kids are out there. I mean, I know, it's always saying, oh, here comes the plow. You hear it scraping up, and you hear the lights flashing in your window and stuff like that. But from the first snowflake to the last, these guys are out there. And I really feel that each one of us should be very proud and commend them the job they did. And you know who you are. And I just very proud of you and very, very, very excited to see that. It's just like a whole new ballgame. It's like it's the same team but different players, if that makes any sense to you. And now I'd like to defer to my chief if he has anything more to say.
Yeah, just to add, with the patrol car, it's at long communication right now. He got the radio put in it. When we bought it, we knew there were some blue lights on there that had to be changed over to red, so he's in the process of getting those changed over to red lights. Hellman Security's been in the office this past few days. They're installing the fob system coming in, which that's going to do is it's going to give us accountability of who's coming in the building and who's leaving the building. So we don't have that in the past. Like somebody comes out on a Saturday afternoon, it's going to notify on my computer that whoever has fob access was in there on a Saturday afternoon. So it's just an accountability thing. And it's easier for me if I've got an inmate and I bring him in the back door and he's fighting with me. I'm going to try to get my key out, figure out which key it is, unlock the door, get him inside there, so all I got to do is fob in and open the door up.
That's why you get paid the big bucks.
So I have a bunch of hearings coming up here next week on the sidewalk violations, so we'll see how that goes here next week, and we'll go from there.
That's what we have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Anything else for old business? Okay. Any new business?
Go to the order. Go to the borough. Your local Cub Scout Pack 30, is having a fish fry fundraiser on February 22nd. That's Sunday, the first Sunday of Lent at Troy Vets Club, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Delicious, our famous beer batter fish, French fries, and coleslaw. I hope everyone can come.
John never got a chance to go over to the PPC meeting.
Oh, well, I'm glad I'm done with that. Let's get on to him.
Can I miss it?
Yes. You skipped him over when he told you to read the resolution.
Oh, sorry, John.
No worries.
Oh yeah, the Person of Protection Property Committee.
Yeah, okay,
Sorry about that, John. Go ahead.
PPC?
Yeah, that.
All right, so we had a meeting back on the 15th at 5:15 p.m. We discussed several different things, mostly in regards to the police department. We talked about body cameras, looking at purchasing potentially 2 cameras from Axon. The chief got us a cost for that, which we're going to be looking into, grants or other ways to pay for that because they are quite salty. For the price of 3 is $15,000. The new used police car, which the mayor and the chief spoke of, has been purchased. It's a 2020. I don't remember the exact miles. I think it was under 30, right?
31,000
miles. The car came pretty much fully equipped as a police car. Like he stated, we just had to change out a couple of lights and upfit it just a little bit. But it is going to go down for a 1,000-point inspection after it leaves. down here from getting the radio in to make sure that it's 100% fit and roadworthy. All the fluids are updated and whatnot. So that's that for that. The personal hiring ad going out for part-time, we've already discussed that. We took care of the code enforcement position with a resolution. Uniforms we discussed, so I believe it was mentioned a little bit earlier in the meeting that we did pick out a couple of uniforms to kind of, I don't want to say snazz up our department, but make it look a little bit more presentable, a little bit more in line with the rest of the police department. So we're looking at like French blue shirts for the patrolmen, with pants with a blue dark stripe down the side, I believe is how it went.
No, they're going to match the stripe with the French blue.
Okay, all right, my bad. And the only difference between the chief and the patrolman would be the chief would be wearing a white shirt. Uniforms will be coming from Blower. We're basically awaiting figures from Cranston, Scranton, Merchant. Head cover was discussed, but no decision was made. So basically the hats we're still undecided on. We've got a draft contract from the Teamsters. Copies were handed out to be reviewed at a later time. Scheduling of officers discussion centered on hours for part-timers up to 20 hours with a focus on Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday, other days depending on scheduling of local events.
Do you want to read it?
Oh, okay. Weapons and ammunition, new versus old. We did take one of our Glocks that we currently have that are, what did we figure, 9 years old?
9 or 10? Was it 2015? So it's going on 11 years.
Yeah, going on 11 years. So we did take them up and take them to an armor and have them inspected. And not only are they out of date, but they're also getting to the point to where they may become unreliable at some point in the near future. Chief got a breakdown of costs, and for new guns, fully fitted, basically with a light and a dot, at about $600 per weapon. I think he holds the invoice in his hand.
Yeah, trade-in's going to take that down to what, $430?
Yeah,
Something
roughly
like
about 430.
about $430. So that's
we're still looking into the funds, where the funds will come from for that, and then we'll move forward to that as well. And then the code enforcement officer, the ad is out. They're in place, and obviously the resolution was put in place tonight.
Okay.
Can I add something along like the police and the first protection? I received a donation from RepSol as well. That's going to help cover some of the costs on the
accessories and holsters
and all that kind of stuff. So it's for safety. So I assisted RepSol last year doing bike helmets. So in turn, they gave us a donation to the police department to help upgrade some of our safety stuff.
Outstanding.
Good deal. Thank you, John.
Yes.
Any other final comments?
So I have a couple of things that I'd like to address with the committee, based on me getting my ear chewed off by several community members, and then obviously some of this is based on personal thoughts as well. But I'd like to address Tim, you. It's pretty obvious by your posts on social media that you're anti-government to an extent. Certain behaviors in the council meetings also point heavily in that direction. You're extremely argumentative over almost every topic that's discussed, whether it be positive or negative.
Mr. President, I don't believe his comments regarding what happens outside this meeting are at all admissible in this council. And I would ask the gentleman, if he does have a specific accusation, he should man up and make it.
These are not accusations. These are brought to me by the public. So
just sharing your opinion then.
Not my opinion. A lot of this is from the public. Lack of respect for others, highly prevalent, with your disregard for emails, responses that are expected to be in a timely manner, and during interview processes. Blatantly disregard notices given and ordinance infractions, warnings, and then you get a citation that you go turn around and choose to take a court case. You're supposed to be here to help us support local ordinances, laws, regulations, and all of that. And it just seems to be you choose what you want to do instead of what the council wants to do. This is my opinion. All right. And again, this has been brought to me by several community members. I would simply like to make a note that, or ask of you to either, become fully involved in this council in our decisions, because they are as a whole. We're a team, right? Which a lot of times to me, it doesn't feel like you're part of the team. You're on the outside trying to scream everybody your direction. I personally would rather see you turn around and help out. I think tonight showed a huge improvement in my mind. But I would rather, see you, do that change and continue on the path that you were on, as in tonight, or step down and let somebody that might be, offering more as far as assistance with the council and moving forward with this community. That's all I had to say.
Okay, if there's no other final comments, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Charlie.
Oh, sorry, Charlie. You only got in there for one, so sorry.
We give them both.
No, mine's
No, it's okay.
mine's real quick. Well, you have one before to talk
Right.
about. Okay,
Yep.
and then you have one. Okay.
Yep, final comments. So,
All right. No, really, mine's easy. I think my time's almost done here. As you know, I've been coming for almost 3 years, and there is a huge difference from then to now. This council has turned 180 degrees, and we have positive forward movement in the borough, and so I commend you all for the work that you're doing, and Rod, Tim, everyone. It's just if you weren't here to experience it for 3 years and watch it, you have no idea how much better this group is. So my hats are off to you guys. Oh, one last thing. You may want to consider, instead of calling it code, calling it ordinance enforcement, just consider it. Because
I agree.
when someone posted on a Facebook site a bunch of bad information, a lot of the conversation went to code versus ordinance, and there's a difference. So I would just suggest you make that. But great job, everyone. I'm very happy.
thank you for the kind words, Charlie.
Thanks,
That's encouraging.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Gotcha.